6 players out, 4 players in. Is that going to be enough for us to save our transfer window? That is what we'll be discussing on the show today. But before we jump into that, please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel. So we're going to go through 6 potential outgoings and give you a bit of background information on where we are with each of them. And then we will be talking about the ingoings as well. So in relation to outgoings, let's start off with Dean Henderson. There's a story coming out this afternoon from Fabrizio Romano that apparently Dean Henderson is in talks to move to Crystal Palace. Obviously, he was heavily linked to Nottingham Forest earlier on in the window. That deal seems to have not materialised. The deal with Crystal Palace looks set to be a loan with either an obligation or an option to buy. It is worth noting that apparently if Manchester United do let go of Dean Henderson, they will then look to sign another goalkeeper. We do obviously have Tom Heaton. We do have Vitek. Matis Kovar has left the club, so we'll have to keep you updated on that one. But for me, Dean Henderson definitely has to go. We can't have a backup goalkeeper on £100,000 a week sat on the bench. So that's a definite from me. The next one is Eric Bailly, someone who's clearly not part of Erik ten Hag's plans. He didn't go on the pre-season tour. He wasn't involved in any of the matchday squads, and he definitely needs to leave the club. Now, with this one, it looks like there won't be any fee. It looks like Manchester United will mutually agree to terminate his deal, and apparently Fulham are the most likely club to pick up his signature at this moment in time. The next player is Brandon Williams, another person who has been frozen out of Erik ten Hag's squad. After the game yesterday, Erik ten Hag came out and said that ultimately Brandon Williams and Donny van der Beek were not in the squad because they're not part of the plans anymore. So Brandon Williams at the moment is attracting some interest from Leeds. Whether that will materialise into a bid or not, I'm not entirely sure, but we will of course keep you updated on that one. Now the next one is Scott McTominay. I think he's out of all of these players the one who will get us the most money. Obviously, West Ham had a £30 million bid rejected from him a couple of weeks ago. I think somewhere around 35 plus add-ons would probably be enough for Manchester United to get this one over the line. And I don't think he's in Erik ten Hag's plans. I don't. He was on the bench yesterday. I thought yesterday's game was actually crying out for someone like Scott McTominay, someone in that midfield to solidify it, and he didn't even get a single minute of game time. So I do think Scott McTominay will go in the last few weeks of the window, and I think someone like West Ham will come back into him. The next one is Donny van der Beek, another person who wasn't part of the squad yesterday, another person who Erik ten Hag said wasn't part of the plans and is actively looking to move to a new club. Fabrizio Romano said he wasn't part of the plans because he is on the brink of leaving the club. Now, the most likely option at this moment is Real Sociedad. Again, it looks like it's going to be a loan with either an obligation or an option to buy. Manchester United is still trying to negotiate the terms of that loan, how much money we'll have to pay of his wages and all the rest of it. The final one is Anthony Martial. Obviously, we brought you the story earlier on today that apparently clubs in Saudi Arabia are set to make an offer for Anthony Martial. I think if we can get any money for him, 20, 30 million, I would say something around that kind of fee, I would definitely do this deal because I think it's absolutely essential. I really, really do. I think we need to raise funds in order for us to, of course, be able to bring in these new signings. Now, let's move over to the ingoings. In relation to ingoings, obviously the most desperate one is Sofian Amrabat. He's waiting for Manchester United. We know this. He's available for around £25 million and Fiorentina would be happy to sell him. So we need to get this one done ASAP. Next up, we've got Jean-Claire Todibo. I think that he is somebody that we should be looking at, especially if maybe later on in the window we try and get rid of Harry Maguire. Obviously, Maguire wasn't part of the squad yesterday. Apparently, he had some sort of illness. Who knows whether that's true or not? Obviously, Erik ten Hag doesn't really seem to give much away, but I would definitely go for Jean-Claire Todibo. I wouldn't go for Benjamin Pavard. Inter Milan are currently in the race and have apparently offered €30 million to sign Benjamin Pavard from Bayern Munich. The next person is Gravenberch, obviously a player who Erik ten Hag has managed before, someone who is apparently available on a loan basis. I would look to get him on a one-year loan, maybe with an obligation or an option to buy. And I think that way financial fair play really, really helps because it means next season we can buy him, have him for a year on loan, see how he gets on. Maybe you then pay for him next season. And then the final one, which I think is probably after Amrabat the most desperate position, is a striker. Now, the 3 profile of players that I think would probably be the most likely to come, maybe someone like Mohamed Kudus. Obviously, West Ham are in talks with him at the moment, but that deal hasn't materialised. Maybe someone like Taremi from Porto. I think he would be a really solid option. Or maybe Gift Orban, who is currently playing at Ghent in the Belgian league. Any of those 3 I think would be good. I don't think we're going to get a mega big signing in the striking area, although we probably do actually need one. So I think all 3 of those players would be realistic. I would probably go with Orban or Kudus, but I would understand if you went for Taremi because he's experienced and he gets a lot of goals. I think that with these signings and these outgoings, it will really, really solidify our team because at the moment our midfield is non-existent. Mason Mount, Bruno and Casemiro simply doesn't work. Our wingers aren't working. The attack isn't working. You need to bring in some more people now, otherwise we're really going to struggle, I think. So as always, do let me know what you think about my selections. Who do you think out of these players will go? What do you think needs to be done in order for us to get back how we should be playing? And let me know what your kind of expectations are for the season after the first 2 games. For me, I just want to see better football. Obviously, I want top 4, but I want to just see us playing better, more attacking football. And I want to see the kind of football that Erik ten Hag played at Ajax, because I don't feel like we saw that last season. So my expectation for this season is that we actually start seeing Erik ten Hag ball. Thank you as always for watching. Please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe on your way out. This has been Daily Red Devil and I'll catch you on the next one.